Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in a neighborhood that's not only one of the wealthiest in London, but also has a deep and vibrant Jewish heritage? These are places where history isn't just in museums. It's written on the street corners, in the synagogues that have stood for centuries, and in the family-run bakeries that have served generations. Today, we're not just looking at postcodes, we're exploring legacies. In this video, we're going on a journey to explore the 10 most affluent Jewish neighborhoods in London. We'll delve into the stories, the eye-watering property prices, and the cultural hubs that define these exclusive enclaves. From the historic synagogues to the multi-million-pound properties, we'll uncover what makes these communities so unique. Join me as we have a look around and find out what life is actually like here. Number 10. Spitalfields and the East End. Kicking off our list at number 10 is a place defined not by sprawling mansions, but by something far more powerful: legacy. We're in the East End, specifically areas like Spitalfields and Whitechapel. For anyone interested in the history of Jewish London, this is ground zero. This is where the story of modern Jewish life in the capital truly began for hundreds of thousands of people. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, this was the first port of call for Ashkenazi Jews fleeing persecution in Eastern Europe. They followed in the footsteps of French Huguenots, creating a dense, bustling, and often impoverished immigrant neighborhood. Life was hard, packed into tight tenement buildings, but it was vibrant. The streets pulsed with the sound of Yiddish, the smell of schmaltz herring from market stalls, and the energy of countless tailors and artisans trying to build a new life. This area wasn't rich in money, but it was rich in culture and resilience. Institutions sprang up like the Jewish Free School, which at one point was the largest school in the world, and the Jewish Soup Kitchen in Spitalfields, providing critical aid. Walking these streets today, you can still find echoes of that past. While the Jewish population has largely moved on, their legacy is indelible. The most powerful symbol is Sandys Row Synagogue. The building was erected in 1766 as a Huguenot chapel, a testament to the waves of immigration that have defined this part of the city. After the Great Synagogue of London was destroyed in the Blitz, Sandys Row became the oldest surviving Ashkenazi synagogue in London. It stands today, tucked away on a side street, a beautiful reminder of the community that once thrived here. So, why is it on a list of richest neighborhoods? Because its cultural wealth is immeasurable, and that history is now fueling a different kind of affluence. Spitalfields is undergoing massive regeneration. The gritty, working-class streets are now home to trendy art galleries, vintage shops, and acclaimed restaurants. Old brick warehouses are being converted into chic loft apartments, and a modern flat here can easily command between £600,000 and £900,000. The area's rich history is a key selling point, attracting a new generation that values authenticity. The East End represents the foundational chapter of our story, the journey from poverty to prosperity that defines the London Jewish experience. It's a reminder that wealth isn't just about money, it's about the richness of history. Number 9. The City of London and Bevis Marks. From the heart of the Ashkenazi immigrant story, we travel to the very origin of Jewish resettlement in London. We're heading to the City of London, the ancient core of the capital, and home to our number 9 spot. This isn't a residential neighborhood in the traditional sense, it's the thrumming financial heart of the UK. But hidden within its labyrinth of glass towers is the oldest Jewish community in Britain and its most precious jewel, Bevis Marks Synagogue. To get the picture, you have to rewind to 1656. After being expelled from England in 1290, Jews were officially allowed to resettle by Oliver Cromwell. The first to arrive were Sephardic Jews, families from Spain and Portugal who were merchants, financiers, and physicians, and they brought immense skill and international trade connections. They established their first congregation and, in 1701, opened Bevis Marks Synagogue. It is, without exaggeration, one of the most significant Jewish buildings in the world. As a Grade 1 listed monument, it's the oldest synagogue in the United Kingdom in continuous use. While it suffered only minor damage during the Blitz, it was later damaged by IRA bomb attacks on the city in the 1990s, but was beautifully restored. Walking into Bevis Marks is like stepping back in time. The interior is lit entirely by candlelight from magnificent brass chandeliers, a tradition that has continued for over 300 years. This synagogue was founded by leading Sephardic families like the Montefiores and Macadas, who would become pillars of British society. Their wealth and influence shaped not just the Jewish community, but the City of London itself. Today, the City of London is, of course, a global hub of immense wealth. The Jewish community here is small, mostly professionals working in the surrounding financial institutions. However, the property that does exist is at a premium, often in luxury office to residential conversions. The richness of this neighborhood is twofold. First, there's the staggering historical wealth embodied by Bevis Marks, a priceless monument to Sephardic heritage. Second, there's the raw financial power of the city itself, a direct descendant of the mercantile world these early Jewish settlers helped to build. Number 8. Cricklewood. Our next stop takes us northwest to our number 8 pick, Cricklewood. Straddling 3 boroughs, Cricklewood is a neighborhood that's literally transforming before our eyes, building on its historic Jewish foundations to become a newly desirable London hotspot. For many years, Cricklewood was seen as the slightly less glamorous neighbor to areas like Golders Green. It had a solid Jewish community, part of the great suburban migration out of the East End, but it didn't have the same reputation for affluence. That perception is changing, and changing fast. The neighborhood is experiencing a significant upward re-rating, making it one of the faster-growing areas on our list. The Jewish history here is tied to its own community infrastructure. The Cricklewood Synagogue has been a cornerstone for decades, and the presence of kosher food shops along Cricklewood Broadway speaks to this heritage. But the story of Cricklewood today is one of regeneration. Its strategic location is a key driver. With excellent transport links, including the Thameslink service that gets you into the city in minutes, it has become a magnet for young professionals and families priced out of more established areas. This new demand is reflected in the property market. While it once offered a more affordable entry point into northwest London, prices are rising rapidly. The area is benefiting from the ripple effect of major regeneration projects in nearby Brent Cross and Wembley. Property experts note that outer zones like this have seen significant price growth, in some cases outperforming prime central London. A substantial family home here can now easily be valued in the $1 million to $1.5 million bracket, a figure that would have been unthinkable just a decade ago. Cricklewood's position on this list is all about momentum. It showcases how a neighborhood with a strong Jewish heritage can be rediscovered and transformed, its property values soaring as it becomes a newly appreciated corner of the capital. For number 7, we're hopping on the Northern Line and riding it all the way to the end, to the twin neighborhoods of Edgware and Stanmore. These areas represent a key chapter in the story of London's Jewish community, the move towards a more spacious, family-oriented, and comfortably affluent suburban lifestyle. This migration took hold in the 20th century as families who had prospered sought green spaces, larger homes, and good schools. Edgware and its neighbor Stanmore became prime destinations, forming a crucial part of the Jewish corridor that extends up through northwest London. This is where you find that classic, comfortable suburban wealth. The streets are lined with large, semi-detached and detached 1930s houses, many of which have been lavishly modernized. The vibe is quiet, residential, and distinctly family-focused. The Jewish community here is large and vibrant. Edgware is home to the Edgware United Synagogue, one of the largest congregations in the country. Stanmore boasts the Stanmore and Cannons Park Synagogue, another major community hub. Alongside these are numerous smaller synagogues, Jewish schools, and a plethora of kosher shops and bakeries. The property market here reflects this stable, community-driven demand. It isn't driven by volatile international investors, but by families who want to live here for the long term. This creates consistently strong demand. As a result, property prices are robust. Homes in the coveted $1 million to $2 million bracket are common, particularly in the leafier parts of Stanmore. The proximity to green spaces like Stanmore Country Park adds to the appeal, offering a slice of country living within the M25. Edgware and Stanmore earn their place on this list not through flashy mansions, but through the deep-rooted affluence of a thriving, multi-generational community. Let's head back a bit closer to the city's buzz, to our number 6 neighborhood, West Hampstead. If its famous neighbor, Hampstead, is the wise old professor, then West Hampstead is its stylish, more bohemian younger sibling. This area is a perfect blend of Victorian elegance and a vibrant modern lifestyle, with a significant Jewish presence woven into its fabric. Like many areas in northwest London, West Hampstead saw an influx of Jewish residents in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, often middle-class professionals moving into the handsome red brick mansion blocks and terraced houses that characterize the area. Today, West Hampstead is known for its energetic atmosphere. Its main thoroughfare, West End Lane, is a bustling hub of independent cafes, high-end bakeries, and chic boutiques. The Jewish community here is well established, and you'll find Jewish-owned delis and restaurants. And then you have JW3, the London Jewish Community Center, a total game-changer that cemented this area as the community's cultural heart. Opened in 2013, JW3 is a major institution for the entire city, with a cinema, restaurant, and a vast range of events. This combination of beautiful architecture, a vibrant high street, and excellent transport links makes West Hampstead incredibly desirable, and the property prices reflect that. Elegant mansion flats can sell for upwards of £700,000, while the larger terraced family homes regularly exceed £2 million. It attracts a mix of affluent professionals, media types, and families who want the community feel of North London without sacrificing the energy of being closer to the city center. West Hampstead is the epitome of sophisticated London living, its richness lying in its beautiful housing stock and thriving cultural scene. We're halfway through our countdown, and the properties are only getting grander. If you're finding this tour fascinating, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You won't want to miss our top 5. Now we arrive at number 5, back in the borough of Barnet, in the sprawling and deeply significant neighborhood of Hendon. If Golders Green is the famous public face of Jewish London, Hendon is its powerful, beating heart, particularly for the Orthodox community. It's a large suburban area that represents a more internally focused and intensely community-driven form of affluence. Hendon's story really explodes after World War II. It became a key destination for Orthodox families, including many Holocaust survivors, who sought to rebuild their lives and create a strong, supportive, and religiously observant environment. This has shaped Hendon into one of the most populous and influential Jewish neighborhoods in Europe. Walking through central Hendon, especially around Brent Street, the neighborhood's identity is unmistakable. The streets are lined with kosher supermarkets, butchers, and restaurants. There are Judaica shops, and you'll see synagogues of all sizes. Hendon is home to a significant Haredi, or ultra-Orthodox population, alongside a large modern Orthodox community. This creates a unique social fabric where religious life is deeply integrated into the daily rhythm of the neighborhood. Schools are a major part of this. Hendon is home to prominent Jewish schools like Hasmonean High School, which are a major draw for families. The property market in Hendon is driven by this intense internal demand. Families want to live within walking distance of their synagogue and schools. This creates a hyper-local and very resilient property market. The housing stock is varied, from 1930s semis to enormous newly built mansions on streets like Shire Hall Lane, where properties can fetch well over £2 million. Hendon's affluence is less about leafy charm and more about the solid, tangible wealth of a community that invests in itself. It's a powerhouse of community life, making it a wealthy and vital cornerstone of Jewish London. For number 4, we're heading into the big leagues, prime central London, to to the elegant districts of Bayswater and Paddington. This area represents a different strand of London's Jewish story, that of the established, anglicized, and socially elite Sephardic community of the Victorian era. While Ashkenazi masses were settling in the East End, a wealthy group of Sephardic families were making their homes in the grand white stucco-fronted terraces and garden squares of this prestigious part of town. These were descendants of the original 17th-century settlers, thoroughly integrated into the British establishment. The crown jewel of this community is the new West End Synagogue in Bayswater. Consecrated in 1879, this Grade 1 listed building is arguably the most architecturally significant synagogue in the UK. It was founded by some of the most prominent Jewish families of the time, including members of the Rothschild dynasty, who wanted to create a cathedral synagogue as a proud statement of their community's status. Its breathtaking interior is a rich and ornate space designed to inspire awe. Today, Bayswater and Paddington are a cosmopolitan mix, but the legacy of that elite Jewish heritage remains. Its location is unparalleled, bordering Hyde Park and a stone's throw from Notting Hill and Knightsbridge. This is some of the most expensive real estate on the planet. The property is a mix of grand townhouses that can sell for tens of millions of pounds and luxurious apartments in the iconic white stucco buildings. A 1- or 2-bedroom flat will typically be priced from £600,000 to well over £1 million. The richness of Bayswater and Paddington is a story of old money and high society, and the new West End Synagogue stands as a monument to that golden age. At number 3, we come to a neighborhood that is, without question, one of the most unique in all of London, Stamford Hill. Located in Hackney, this area is not rich in the conventional sense of sprawling lawns and luxury sports cars. Its wealth is measured in faith, community, and an astonishing rate of growth. Stamford Hill is the heartland of London's Haredi, or ultra-Orthodox Jewish community. It is the largest Haredi community in Europe, with some sources in the early 2020s estimating the population at around 30,000, while others provide figures closer to 15,000 to 19,000. The area's character was defined by a major influx of strictly Orthodox Jews after World War II, many of them Holocaust survivors from specific Hasidic dynasties. They sought to recreate the close-knit, Yiddish-speaking shtetl life of Eastern Europe in North London, and they succeeded. Walking through Stamford Hill is like entering another world. Shop signs are in Hebrew and Yiddish, and the streets are filled with men in traditional black coats and women in modest attire. The community is remarkably self-sufficient, with its own voluntary ambulance service, Hatzolah, and neighborhood watch, Shomrim. This incredible cohesion and rapid population growth have created a severe housing crisis. Large families are central to Haredi life, and the demand for homes within the community's tight boundaries is immense. This has driven property prices in this corner of Hackney sky high. Modest terraced houses sell for huge premiums. To meet the need, new developments, such as Tower Court on nearby Clapton Common, have been designed to be inclusive of the community's specific requirements. Nearby areas are also feeling the ripple effect, with some terraced houses now fetching over £1.15 million. Stamford Hill's inclusion so high on this list is a testament to the power of demographic destiny, creating a microeconomy that makes it, in real estate terms, one of the most competitive neighborhoods in London. And at number 2, we have the neighborhood whose name is basically shorthand for Jewish London, Golders Green. For decades, it has been the undisputed capital of Jewish London, a place where Jewish culture isn't just present, but is the defining characteristic. If you ask a Londoner to name a Jewish neighborhood, the first words out of their mouth will almost certainly be Golders Green. Its development as a Jewish hub began in the early 20th century, accelerating as it became the primary destination for families moving up and out of the East End. A walk down Golders Green Road is a full immersion experience. It's a bustling high street packed with kosher restaurants, bakeries selling warm challah and bagels, large kosher supermarkets, and bookshops. It has long been the commercial and social heart of the community. While the area has become more diverse, the Jewish presence remains profoundly strong, with numerous synagogues, including the historic Golders Green United Synagogue. Now, let's talk about the wealth. Golders Green is home to some seriously expensive property, from charming cottages to enormous detached family homes on wide, leafy avenues. Demand here is consistently high, attracting a wide spectrum of the Jewish community. This has kept property prices incredibly buoyant. The average property price in Golders Green hovers around £1.4 million, but this figure masks the top end of the market. A large detached house can command well over £4 million. Golders Green represents the perfect storm of cultural centrality and high-value real estate, making it the deserved and undisputed number 2 on our list. And now for the undisputed number 1 richest Jewish neighborhood in London, the one and only Hampstead. Perched on a hill with its world-famous heath, sprawling mansions, and intellectual pedigree, Hampstead is the champion of London affluence. It's been a desirable enclave for the wealthy for centuries, and for over 150 years, it has been a favored home for the city's Jewish elite. The Jewish connection began in the Victorian era, when successful Anglo-Jewish professionals, academics, and artists were drawn to its leafy, village-like atmosphere. This wasn't a dense immigrant community. It was a settled, confident, and highly educated one, a tradition that continues today. The beauty and prestige of Hampstead are everywhere. From the charming, cobbled lanes of Hampstead Village to the breathtaking views from Parliament Hill, the area exudes a timeless charm. The architecture is magnificent, a stunning collection of Georgian townhouses, Victorian villas, and modernist masterpieces. The neighborhood is served by several synagogues, including the large and dynamic South Hampstead Synagogue. But the Jewish presence here is often more cultural than overtly religious, integrated into the liberal, intellectual milieu of the area. When it comes to wealth, Hampstead operates in a league of its own. This is where you will find some of London's most expensive homes. The area is adjacent to Billionaires Row on the Bishop's Avenue, but even within Hampstead proper, property prices are astronomical. Prime family homes regularly sell between £5 million and £15 million, and sometimes much more. The market is driven by a mix of old money, new money, and international elites, all vying for a piece of this exclusive London village. Hampstead is number 1 because it represents the absolute peak of residential desirability, combined with a deep, long-standing, and influential Jewish heritage. It is the perfect synthesis of wealth, culture, and history. So, from the historic streets of Spitalfields all the way to the grand avenues of Hampstead, what have we seen? This exploration shows that richness in these communities is about so much more than just property prices. It's about the wealth of history, the strength of community bonds, and the richness of a culture that has not only survived, but thrived, shaping the character of this city. The top 3, Hampstead, Golders Green, and Stamford Hill, perfectly encapsulate this diversity. The peak of intellectual and financial wealth, the vibrant cultural and commercial heart, and the engine of demographic and spiritual strength. Each neighborhood tells a unique part of a larger story of migration, adaptation, and success. Thank you for joining me. What did you think of our list? Are there any neighborhoods you think we should have included? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more deep dives into London's most fascinating corners. We'll be back soon with another exploration of this incredible city.